Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. Got a little choked up on the first one. Had to do it again. Not at the farm today. It's about a 22-degree morning, so kind of chilly. But actually starting to try to feel a little better. Chickens. See, it's not all sawmills, guys. Not all sawmills. But exciting news about the sawmill. So on the last video, I was telling you guys I had a couple options on a new power unit to upgrade the old Ford 3.7 liter non-existence power unit. Why I say non-existent is because I've not been able to find any information on it. So, give you a little backstory. We went to go look at a Cummins power unit, right? Yeah, just an old Cummins 250 power unit. Supposed to have been on another mill. It went bust. Went and looked at it. It is not what I want. It was a truck motor. It's not going to be. It's just the sheer size of that 250 is going to be in the way more than it's actually going to be helpful. So while we was there, it was at an Amish sawmill, Amish ran sawmill. They were running a John Deere. I got talking to those guys, great group of guys. Done a little talking, and we got a few things, a couple things. Spent all day yesterday driving, basically. So I'm gonna show you what we got. Pretty excited. If you guys recognize this building, this was the original steel saw house with the Woodland Mills sawmill. It is now currently just a place to pile extra blades, stuff hanging on the walls. It's basically collect all at the moment. I need to move a lot of this stuff over to the farm, but here's what we came down here for. Drum roll, please. Da, 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 da. Yes, that is a new blade. No, it is not brand new, but it is new to me. It's a same style of blade that I'm running. It's not the old style, it's the newer style blade. Not a very old blade. Just been hammered, ready to go on the mill. But the thing is I'm running a 50-inch saw right now. And I'd been looking and wanting since I got a sawmill that I wanted a 56-inch saw. At least a 56-inch. I looked into the 60-inch, but they might have been just a little too big for my actual mill setup. So this guy said, well, hey, I got like 8 56-inch blades in here. I might be willing to sell a couple. So we went in, looked at it, picked up the one I wanted, and we sold it to us. Pretty good deal too. Good guy, really good guy. That's the first, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit behind. I've talked to a few in passing, but that's the first Amish, true Amish feller that and group of guys that I've ever actually sat down and talked to about anything in specific. So yeah, well, I like those guys. Good guys. Into a lot of the same stuff that me and my family's into. But anyway, that wasn't the only thing. So got a 56-inch blade ready to go. I probably won't put that on just yet because, well, the 250 Cummins didn't work out. But let me show you what we did get. Old 2-ton. And ready, set, dun da da da. That, my friends, is a massive old school 671 Detroit. Actual power unit, not a truck motor. This is an actual power unit motor. Governor at 1800 RPMs is what he told me. This motor actually came off of his mill. He ran it for, he said, about a couple months, broke a rod. He had it completely rebuilt. We're going on his word on this. He had it completely rebuilt, inside and out. When he got it back on the sawmill, it was still burning oil. He said about a gallon a day. They're cutting a whole lot more than I'm cutting. Those guys are cutting about 15,000 board foot a day, pallet lumber, so it's, you know, boards. That being said, the reason they burn oil is because it's Detroit. My dad grew up on these things, and I've heard it my whole life. Don't matter how many times you rebuild it, you're still gonna burn oil. It's just the way they are. They're just a Detroit. They're a two-cylinder, two-stroke engine, and that's just the life of them. So, long story short, he didn't really want to get rid of it because it was his spare. Because he took it off after about, I don't know, we figure about 1,000 hours. He ain't got an hour meter on it. At most, he said about 1,000 hours. He said, and he put his John Deere on there to save him money on having to buy oil. So, we bought it off of him. But it should be a pretty fresh on the rebuild side. Show you guys around it a little bit. It's a little dirty because it's been sitting in a barn, and it was on the, I don't think they ever did any painting or anything like that when they rebuilt it. So it's just, you know, it's a dirty old motor, but if the inside is clean, and you can tell it's been tore into at least once, because you look at that head is clean in comparison to the rest of the block. It hasn't been painted. So that's he told us it was a different, the head had been completely reworked when it was off. It had been resurfaced and all that stuff. So 671 Detroit. This thing, if it's as fresh as he says it is, which I believe it is, should push out, from what I can research and find, between 160 and 200 horsepower, give or take. I'm gonna go on the low side of that and say it's 160, right? Okay, at 160, guys, I may be pushing 55 on my mill right now. 55. The motor, the closest I can come to find information on it is close to a 5,000 Ford motor. They're pushing like, I think 63 when they're new, you know, in good shape, best they can get. Mine is like 1 liter smaller than the 5,000 Ford. The numbers don't match, so I don't really know, but I'm just going by theirs. If it's close to a 5,000, which is as close as I can find, it's going to be around, you know, low 60s on the horsepower. As wore out as it possibly is, I don't know. I think they got a different problem with the starting. I don't think it's the ether is the problem as the reason it won't start, because I've done a little trick with the ether and put it in a different direction. I put it in behind the filter, air filter, and it just took a minute little squirt and she fired right up. I mean, just a little pop and boom, she fired. I still can't find any parts for it, so I don't know. I'm starting to think my air cleaner might be a little more stopped up than what it looks inside. That could be part of it. The reason it's not taking the ether on a cold start, and it's taking more than what I think. Because like I say, I can put it in directly behind the air cleaner, and a small shot of fired off. So that being said, I don't think it's as wore out as I thought originally, but it still ain't as good as what I want. But we're tripling the horsepower with this thing. It's got a massive, I don't know if you guys can see, it's a wide pulley on it. I'm only running 5 V-belts. This thing is 8 on that PTO. Same style of V-belts, so I should be fine on that part. The thing is though, is it's got a longer shaft, so the shaft sticks out longer, which I like that. And with those 8 pulleys versus the 5 that I got, I could always put other pulleys going in different directions, another belt putting in a different direction. So it needs a few things here and there. We need to get a fuel tank hooked up to it. We need to get her some batteries hooked up to it, and we need to see if this thing will fire off. We've not even heard it run. We picked this motor up. We didn't even hear it run. Kind of took the guy at his word on it, but felt pretty good about it. So, Lord willing, it run. Oh, I don't know if you can see. My dad knows way more about these things than I do. He literally grew up on them in old trucks and stuff. He run them hard. So he knows more about them than I do by a long shot. I just know what I've researched and what I've found online, guys talking about them. My father-in-law, he runs a 371 Detroit, which is half the size, literally, of this thing. But it does good for him. I mean, he does real well with it. But it still runs into having to ease into the saw a lot more. It'll dog it down a lot more. The guy who was running this, the Amish guy, he said this thing would literally eat a log up. It just was harder on fuel than his John Deere, and it used more oil, which sawing as much as he's sawing, I can believe it like no problem. I understand. I'm not sawing that much. He's sawing 5 days a week, 8, 9 hours a day. So, you know, those guys are really humping it. I'm not turning out nearly that kind of lumber. So, anyway, big 671 Detroit. I don't know, like guys, I don't know if you can really. Anybody that's ever looked at these things knows how massive they are. They're just huge, and there's a simplicity to them. Everything I can find, guys really love the simplicity of it all. So, yeah, got the air filters up there. Those, I think those are oil, yeah, oil level canisters. Right there says actually oil level. Those are oil bath filters, which are, from what I can find, are way better for dusty environments. So that'll be good for the meal. They say they tend to do better on dusty environments. They don't get clogged up quite as quickly and change as quickly. So that's good. May have to get us some fuel filters ordered or something as time goes. I think those are the canister style. But I believe the fuel goes in here, and right here's the return, best I can find. So yeah, we got her started, guys. It's a start to something bigger and better. Growing the mill every day. Leastwise, that's what I hope. But I'll let you guys know, and I'll try to get a video of it as when we first try to start this thing up and see how she's going to do. I don't know what the numbers painted on the side is for all four, but yeah. Anyway, we got us a new power unit. Pretty tickled, really happy about it. Just really excited to get it on the mill now, because I just went through and got that big belt that you guys saw. So now we can get that little power unit off there, put that new big blade on there, get this monster put into place, and man, we should be able to rip through some boards and rip through some logs pretty quick. I guess after that it'll be a matter of just cutting some of these poplars down and getting them to the mill. I got a bunch of oaks already been down for about a year, so they're probably good and hard. The ants has probably got to the outside surface, but I believe we're still going to get a lot of like barn boards and stuff like that. Maybe not anything to put in the house, but still a lot of boards for putting in the house and sheeting any kind of old buildings and stuff. So we got a lot of those that's going to need cut. So we need to actually get on the roll of things and get this mill up and going. We're still digging on the house, footing and foundation stuff. We're digging out for the basement. We ain't got the footings dug yet. I should say that correctly. So yeah, once we get that stuff, we got a lot going on. But this meal is super important because it's going to be cutting out everything. The most I can do anyway, as much as I can possibly do, and be, you know, accurate on everything. So if you like the old Detroits and you want to hear this baby run, like, subscribe, stay tuned, share it, all that good stuff with any of you big Detroit fans. I know some of you guys out there love them, hate them, whatever. Wish me luck on this thing. It's a monster compared to mine. My little Ford over right now. I'm telling you, I'm a GM man anyway, so you know, got to go with the GM. I got 4. All right, folks. We got it primed. It did hit a lick. Now we're going to show you how it actually starts up. And this motor hasn't been started, we know of, at least a year. But it didn't take much to get it primed at all. And I've not put any ether or anything in it. It's probably what, about 50 degrees, 45, 50 degrees. Jacket weather, but not bad. Jackson, you want to hit the button?
No.
All right, he don't want to hit the button. Let's take a look. Hit the button, Joe. You can hear me, but that ain't too bad. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all.